Hey guys, it's Jessica Kramer here with the Daily Caller News Foundation. We're outside Union Station and we're asking folks what they think about Christopher Columbus and the day's celebration. Columbus, Ohio actually stopped celebrating Columbus Day. I just wanted to know if you had an opinion or a thought on that.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to celebrate Columbus Day. Seems like a guy killed a lot of Native Americans, and I don't see a reason to celebrate him.
I'm shocked. I'm from Ohio.
I think that's maybe a sign to the rest of the country, perhaps. Like if even a place that's named after him is willing to stop celebrating that, then maybe, other people should too.
I think we should substitute it with something for a woman or Women's Day.
The whole nation is changing our holidays, everything. I believe we're on the brink of civil war. People want to change our country, our nation. They want communism. They want socialism. They have no idea what it is about. They've never had to pick up their brother's body and put it in a body bag. They've never had to pay the price of freedom.
Well, it's a pity that Ohio has stopped celebrating Columbus Day, because that's the heritage of America.
He was not a good person. If you read some histories out there, like Howard Zinn or whatnot, he did some pretty bad stuff.
Regardless of what you think about Columbus, I think he's certainly a great man of history, just as Julius Caesar is a great man of history.
You know, if Christopher Columbus didn't come out this way, there wouldn't have been in America. Or maybe it would have been quite different to what it is right now.
Oh, I'm Italian, I'm sick for Columbus.
Those cities are, they're bowing to a small minority, and that's always unfortunate. I think each of those cities probably has an Italian-American population. I'm an Italian-American myself. It's an unnecessary slap in the face.
Why would you not celebrate something like that, especially if you have the name from it? Wasn't Columbus named for Columbus?
Myself, I'm a Catholic, so I admire his religious piety.
What about celebrating Indigenous People Day?
I think that's good, yeah.
They should have their own day probably, but they don't need Columbus Day.
Necessarily be replaced. I think Indigenous Peoples Day is a fine thing to celebrate, but I don't see why it has to replace Columbus Day. I think primarily that's politically motivated, because a lot of the misinformation people think that Columbus did towards Native Americans.